doesn't happen now, I was really myself in the belief that I don't know what would ever happen. The development of riverfront is one of those things that's been talked about for a long, long time, many, many years. And then with the former administration, Mayor Wells Armstrong and her team, there was a plan put together and said that this has to move forward. As we've talked about many times before, when I came into this office, there was discussions, would this be something that I would frown upon or would not move forward? And I always said that absolutely we were going to move forward. This is a belief that I've had along with a lot of other people for a long time. And it took some time because we wanted to maybe do it a different way financially. And that's what's exciting about this, is we've talked about before that this is now, we're groundbreaking that we've happened today. This is going to be completed. And when it's all said and done, the community is going to be able to use this. And we're going to own it free and clear. We're not going to owe any money on it. It's being paid for. But this is the first step of many, many steps of the development of the riverfront. And that's what's really exciting. We're already now working on the other things that are happening. There's the riverfront trail that is in the final phases of engineering that'll take from the bridge that crosses from Riverside over to Kennedy Avenue. That'll now bring that south to Station Street and underneath the Court Street Bridge for safe access there. We expect to be able to go out and chase some grants on that in this fall, and we hope that's a project that'll break ground next year. And then we're also been acquiring a lot of the homes on the West Riverwalk. That's, again, I'm one of those persons that use old structures. You got the dam tap there, and as you head west towards Legion Park, you'll see a lot of that being cleared out, and that's a big space there that is also being worked on. And we're also meeting on other parts of it, and part of it is we're going to have some meetings here shortly about where is the next stage that we start the engineering and design to continue this going, because this needs to keep going. As one project is under construction, we need to be designing and engineering the next phase of it and continuing that on. And this will be a project that it will take 25 to 30 years probably to ultimately complete. But we can complete a lot in the next 5 to 6 years and make a big difference. So we're excited with the partnership that we have working with the Kankakee Valley Park District and the Currents. They're a big piece of this, the Park District. While this piece may be city-owned property now, we're looking at a lot of their land that they have, and I'm excited about talking with them about with Legion Park. That is an area that I think could be an iconic park that you talk about. A lot of times you hear about our parks in Kankakee. You don't hear much about that one until you go back there and realize what's back there along the river and the beauty. That's one that would be just, in my opinion, amazing to bring open to the public and have them walk and understand what's back there. I think that could wake up in 20 years, maybe sooner, and people think that's one of the iconic parks that they talk about in the city of Kankakee. So today is just extremely exciting. I want to thank PSI Construction. They did a lot over here the last couple of weeks. When you tell a contractor that you want to break ground in the middle of winter, they sometimes look at you like you're a little crazy. They've dealt with our craziness, and so to Bob and to Joda and to Justin, thank you very much for making everything happen, getting the fence up, getting the designs. Can we give them a bigger round of applause? And why when we were out there, it was really important to the team that all of you here and everybody that was out there, that you were all part of the picture. Because some days we look around in this room here, you sit there and look at some things, and you look at these old pictures that sit up here on the wall of this historic site that we're here. I hope that it's my kids, when they got their kids there or whatever, there's some old pictures of the photo that we just took out there and said it all started right there, what happened. When you think of places like Naperville, people talk about the Riverwalk. When we went up to McHenry County and McHenry up there and we talked their Riverwalk, they talked, it was a lot like what we hear here. They had potential, but it just never kicked off. Now it's got one of the coolest things with residential development around it and restaurants and everything that's happening right there. Again, I go back, won't be maybe necessarily black and white pictures, but people will look back 50 years from now and say, that was my father, that was my grandfather, that was whoever it was at that time. They were a big deal that made this happen that now extends the whole area of Kankakee. So as I talked about briefly out there, see, now you get me talking too much now. There we go. But when we're out there, it's this just isn't for the city of Kankakee. It's a big deal for us, trust me. But we've got a lot of municipalities and areas here that are doing a lot of great things. You got Bradley working on their parks and their softball diamonds. You got Bourbonnais who brought the Grove forward. You got Mantino that's got their downtown area that they started many years ago. These are the things that people look for when they go to buy a home. What they look for when they want to look for a job. My son just graduated from college right now, and he's out looking for a job. One of the things that will be interesting is we talked, there may be an opportunity for him in Colorado. I don't think Mom's very happy about him moving away, if that's a possibility it happens. But I'm sure one of the things we'll look out there, if we find him an apartment or something, it'll be what's around there for him to do. So this is a key point, and so this just isn't for Kankakee, this is for our entire county, and it's really for our region. Whether it extends down to Watseka or extends up to the Monee area, this is something that I'm really excited about. I think will be a really, really big deal. So thank you for being here tonight. We're going to get a lot of pictures here tonight. There are so many people. I don't want to start naming names because everybody in here has been involved in this, whether it's been a donation of $5 or more, or they've been on the volunteer team, or they've been on some of the walks that Bill has initiated to see what we're going to do here. So I'm going to let some others speak, but make sure you get in a picture. Make sure you're part of history tonight, so that when we wake up 50 years from now, you're hanging on the walls, whether it be in this house or it's at City Hall or somewhere. Make sure you're there and part of it, because you are truly part of this tonight. So for further ado, I'm going to ask Senator Joyce if you'd like to come up and say a few words.
Thank you.
How I envision getting this done. As we talked about, I'm excited that we have nearly $2 million in grant money for this, nearly $500,000 in philanthropy money from the public and stuff. So, this wasn't going to happen until we got, in my eyes, until we got to that path, and he's a big reason why we're here today.
Thank you, Chris. One of the things that Mayor Curtis brought up, I mean, history. When you look at iconic cities across the United States and across Illinois that have a river, and how they utilize that, this is a unique opportunity for Kankakee. We've all known that. That's why you have this kind of crowd show up. In here, you have Democrats and Republicans. You have white, brown, black. We are all here because this is so important to our community and our community's growth. You look at iconic pictures of Kankakee in the 50s and what it looked like buzzing downtown. This is a step in that direction. And we have so many properties along the river. And Chris started talking about some of the areas that, you know, we're looking at. I'm looking at Shapiro and all the property that goes along the river. Could it connect here? It can. And those are the types of things that we need to attract people to our community. We're going to have a lot of jobs here in this county. We are one of the biggest manufacturing hubs in the state of Illinois, if not in the Midwest. And these are the areas that people are looking at to move to. We have to move our city forward. One, I'd say funny but not funny story, that Chris, and that's why we're here in January, is they did their muscle study. You have to do all the environmental things that you have to do to make a project like this work. There we go, good timing. And the muscle study showed 7 endangered mussels, and the DNR was meeting with the mayor, and the mayor was pulling on his hair and calling me and saying,
I thought maybe that was them calling you right now.
they said, don't talk about the mussels. So there were 7 mussels, and it was going to delay it till next spring, and putting a shovel in the ground is very, very important in projects like this. You know, I offered, throw them in a pickup truck, I'll take them down to Wilmington, they'll love it down there. It was a frustrating series of meetings that I had with DNR on how we go about this, and I can't even tell you some of the conversations and where it leads your frustration level. But we got through it, and I'm glad we're here. I wish it would have been October. But these are kind of projects that we have to push to move our city forward. And I'm so, so glad to see the turnout we're having on a cold day out in Kankakee along the river. I mean, you're going to look back at that photo and say, these people were crazy, to be honest with you. But thank you all so much for coming. I'm glad that the state has pitched in. I mean, you have 4 different levels of government chipping in for this project. That's how important this is. And I thank everyone who's pushed this and everyone who's here to support it. Thank you.
We'd like to have a couple words from our State Representative Jackie Haas.
I'll be the elected official with a few words today. I agree with everything that's certainly been said. The river is probably the hidden gem for our community. I was lucky enough to grow up by the river, born and raised in a house that overlooked the river in our front yard. And so it has a really special place in my heart, always will. And we obviously have seen the benefit to build around that. And growing up in this community, as the senator said, we had so much built around it before. And we're going to continue to do that, and I know we're committed to seeing that through. Obviously, everyone here in this room is committed to seeing that through, and the outpouring of support for this is just monumental. And we know where this community can grow and where the city will grow, and we're here to help see that through too. I look forward to seeing what we can and will do with this, and I'm glad that all of us are a part of it, not just us, but everyone. We're all a part of it and will continue to be. So thank you to everyone who's been a part of it, and we'll continue to grow together.
Thank you, Jackie. And as you can see behind us, there's a logo for the city. There's a logo for the Kankakee Valley Park District and the Currents of Kankakee. This is a partnership between those organizations, and I think that's important for kind of getting our community to buy in. And somebody who's been bought in from the beginning, Park District Commissioner Ray Eves. Can you come up and say a few words, Ray?
It seems like just yesterday, as one gets older, a few years can be yesterday. So just yesterday, I was talking to Chris, saying we started, I think, in this room, talking about what's going to come to fruition. And Chris and I gave $1,000 to make this project get off the ground. And whether it's $5, $50, $1,000, or $50,000 or more, you take ownership of this entity that's going to come to fruition. And it's so wonderful because there's been so many negative things said about plans that have gone on in Kankakee and haven't come to fruition. But this is going to happen. And again, I'm just reiterating what people have said. You and I, we make this thing happen. We are the community, and it's not just for Kankakee, it's for anybody that wants to visit it. And so, our district, we're involved in that. We're very grateful to be able to be part of this, along with the city and the Currents. So please talk it up to your neighbors and friends and relatives, because it's going to happen. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all.
And we have one more speaker who wears a couple different hats in what she does. She's the chairperson for the Kankakee Riverfront Society, our nonprofit organization that makes this happen, but also with a role with the city in charge of economic development and community development, really does a lot of the hard work, the work that's behind the scenes to move things forward, and we want to welcome Barbie Brewer-Watson.
Thanks, Bill. I am really moved tonight. This is a huge milestone for the city of Kankakee, for the Kankakee Riverfront Society, for the partnership between the city and the Park District, but also a culmination of over 7 years of community work, tenacity, persistence, compassion, kindness, teamwork, having difficult conversations, learning about each other, learning about each other's neighborhood, what everybody wants out of a riverfront. And so tonight I'm really fulfilled. I'm very moved because everybody in here has had a role, has attended a meeting, has given feedback, has claimed their neighborhood and their city, and said this is what we want Kankakee to be, and we want to work together to make that happen. Not every project is like that in my world that I get to work in. So this one has been a very big privilege to just be able to coordinate and facilitate community conversations, meetings. We've learned a lot about the land of the riverfront. We've learned about the flora, the fauna, the people that live around the river, the history of it, and this project honors all of that. Every tough conversation, everything that we had to compromise to get to where we're at, and the mussels are part of that. They will eventually be a mascot. Professionally for me, on day one of taking the job into the city, had a resident at a community meeting said it will never happen. And I took that as a personal, professional challenge to make sure that it did happen. And that people in Kankakee could say that we did it, and we did it together collectively. So today's groundbreaking is so big. It's a huge milestone for all of us. And we celebrate this together, and this is one of many celebrations, because this is a long project. This is just phase one. There's 7 other phases, multiple times that we can get together to work together. So I just want to say thank you to all of you, because we've done this together. We've worked on this together, and it's been over 7 years, and we're here to celebrate. There's a lot of people behind the scenes too that did the Riverfront implementation team. So I don't know if any of you are here, but like 7 years ago, there's a group of people who just get around a table and say, what if we did this? But if you are, if you just raise your hand, because you were here in those beginning conversations. Yeah, I mean, just around the table to try to, take dreams and put them to paper. Gosh Engineering, that team's here, been a part of the conversation. Tesca and Associates, Hitchcock Design Group, behind the scenes, just meeting with residents and talking and trying to put dreams onto paper so that we could then create this park. And so there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes into this as well. Passion and lots of work. So I just want to say thank you so very much. There's more to be grateful for and thankful for. I think we have Park District Commissioners here too besides Ray. Yeah, see, I'm like seeing people. Riverfront Society board members, if you could raise your hand. There's so many I won't remember just because of being so motivated tonight. Yeah, thank you guys for all of that. Our aldermen and women, several of you are here. Raise your hand. All of this behind the scenes work and belief and support, thank you guys very much. Thank you. And it's been a privilege. Thank you.
It is, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just want to introduce Bill. Bill's been the MC of this. He's been working behind the scenes to get everything here. 3 years ago, and it's hard to believe it's 3 years ago already, that's when the partnership came together with these logos behind us. And all said we'll contribute some money, but to get this done, we have to have somebody to lead the charge. Because as many of you know, we sit on committees and we sit on boards, and it's very easy to show up to that committee meeting and that board meeting and then reconvene in a month. And go, oh, what did we do last month? Oh, we got to start again or whatever. We need somebody working daily to get this done. And so Bill Yanka has been that guy for the last 3 years. He's been the guy out there trying to chase the money that I asked for him to do. He's been the guy trying to put the creative things together like the QR codes and doing the walking trails and doing the marketing and different that. So without Bill and leading this charge as our executive director, I don't think we get here today either. So Bill, thank you.
We're going to take some pictures later, but I'm trying just to kind of gather in, seeing everybody here. This is really remarkable, and great to see it finally happen. One of the things I was talking to people about the other day, what I think makes this really special, and I think what makes the people who put this together really special in my mind, is that we do have a really beautiful river. Like, nobody can doubt it. We have some beautiful natural areas. You go to the state park, you're in Perry Farm, your different places are really beautiful. And then there's places that I think are just breathtaking. And a lot of times you see those in things like the Garden Walk. Has anybody ever gone on the Garden Walk and seen like Ray's backyard? It's amazing. They're just spectacular places that really celebrate the river. And I love that this group has kind of had the mindset to say, we're going to make that. But we're going to make that for everybody. It's going to be for our entire community. It's going to be for people who come and visit. It's going to be what people talk about when they leave Kankakee. They're going to say, you got to go to Kankakee and see what they did with the river. So I'm inspired by that, and I hope you are too. And I know this is just the first part, and we've got a lot of work to do ahead of us. Just thank you all so much. We will be talking to people because I have a teammate in our fundraising committee chair, Dennis Barron, who we still have work to do. So be nice if you hear from me or Dennis Barron, because we're going to be talking to folks and separating you from some knowledge. We have pictures to take, but first I think we want to have our elected officials, if you could come up first and really take this opportunity. We're going to have some fun, enjoy each other's company, get some food and drink, and enjoy a beautiful, beautiful, amazing place here at the Bradley House. Thank you.
Feel free to mingle and everything. We do have some hors d'oeuvres in the back. We got some wine. We got some beer and some things. Enjoy yourself. This is a celebration. So.
I have some words of wisdom from a young person
Okay.
who said, "You mean that isn't what was, but that's gonna be?"
All right.